OTT players, and this could be very disruptive. We're talking about the Mukesh Ambani-backed JioCinema, which has announced a subscription plan of just 29 rupees a month, which makes it around a rupee a day. It's less than a rupee a day, actually. Now, with the ambition that is brewing big to disrupt India's OTT market, which is very clearly from this kind of aggressive pricing, let's take a look at the current scenario. Reports are suggesting that the market is expected to grow to $7 billion by the year 2027 from the $3 billion it's been at in 2022. So the real question now is, how is this going to impact competitors? It's a very competitive space, the OTT market. What about profitability of this business model? Let's discuss this. And to do so, Karan Taurani is here, Senior Vice President at Elara Securities. Great to have you with us this evening, Karan. You know, on average, I was just looking at it, the broadcaster-based OTT platforms in India, they charge around 103 rupees a month, like ZEE5 and Sony Live and Disney Plus, all their premium plans, they average around that much. The global OTT players, they charge around 358 rupees. We're looking at a Netflix and an Amazon Video. Now, with JioCinema's premium pricing, which comes at a significant discount, a discount of nearly 86% to what peers offer, how is this going to change the competitive landscape, you think?
Hi, Vikram. Good evening. So I think, this plan is quite disruptive. We have seen that in the past as well, when JioCinema started offering IPL free of cost last year, it was the most premium property. And that led to a big, sharp increase in terms of consumption as far as JioCinema OTT platform is concerned. And it has also kind of impacted broadcaster OTT players because they're not able to raise ARPUs beyond a point because you have got the most premium content available free. So it becomes tough for other players to raise ARPUs. Now, what this kind of a thing will do, this is actually a bigger price cut. So if you look at, JioCinema, they started offering IPL free of cost. They had a plan of 1,000 rupees on an annualized basis, which is about 80 rupees a month for the global audience and for the global content, rather. English content that you have from HBO and other global studios put together. Now that pricing has been cut to 30 rupees, and you not only have that, you have added more content and you have cut the pricing. So it is quite disruptive, and I think this move is more disruptive for the global OTT giants because I think their pricing is at a hefty premium versus the 30 rupees per month. So I think specifically, companies like Netflix, Amazon, it will be tough for them to take price hikes because the kind of variety of content Jio is going to have, and post regulatory approvals, if RL Disney deal does come through, you might also see Disney content getting bundled into this, which means that the depth of variety of content is going to be very huge. So as of now, I think the depth and variety of content is not on par with the global OTT companies as far as English content is concerned. But once the RL Disney deal happens, the depth will become matchable to whatever the other global giants are doing right now in terms of content variety. So I think it's quite disruptive for two, three things. One is the ARPU, second is the SVOD revenue market growth rate. I think the growth rates for this market is pegged at about 25-30%. You will not see this kind of growth rates because platforms may not be able to raise ARPU beyond a point. Third very big point, because you can't raise ARPUs, this industry is already making losses because of high content costs. So most of these platforms, their plans of getting to break even or profitability gets more prolonged. So this is, I think, a threefold impact as far as this pricing is concerned by JioCinema.
So you're saying that in terms of the kind of content, the variety of content, the quality of it as well, that would follow in JioCinema's case. Right now, they may not be as competitive, but the pricing is aggressive, and that perhaps is going to lead to better content in times to come. But looking at the kind of offerings that the Ambani-owned platform has, like IPL, Game of Thrones, there are cartoons that kids have taken a shine to. How much of the leverage is going to happen because Jio also has its mobile, it also has Jio Fiber. How much is that going to help?
So I think that is the big win-win here. So if you take any OTT platform in the country, I think except for Netflix, most of the other OTT platforms, close to 80 to 90% of their SVOD revenue or their subscriber base comes through partnerships. Now, what happens in the case of partnership is, you tie up with an OEM, you tie up with a telecom provider, wherein you have to go on a rev share basis, or, they give you a minimum guarantee in terms of these number of subscribers that your platform would have. In that case, you do build a scale in terms of number of subscribers, you do build a scale in your SWOT revenue. But what happens is that there's an undercutting in terms of pricing. Your pricing is down by 70 to 80% versus the rack rate. So what the platform realizes in terms of SWOT revenue is very small despite a high subscriber base that they have. And that's because of the partnership model. Now, in this case, JioCinema can afford to keep their pricing low because they have got the last mile support. They don't need to tie up with any kind of a partner, because if you look at Jio today, they've got more than 500 million mobile subscribers, 4G subscribers. So I think that is why this is a win-win, that at low price, they can, do better here. And pricing of 30 rupees, for JioCinema is equivalent to pricing of 100 rupees per month for any other OTT platform, because that's what they realize eventually, because 80% of your subscriber base does come through partnerships. So that is why they can make the best opportunity of the last mile, which no other platform can make.
Karan, also tell us about digital marketing, and that has taken its time to see a pickup with the more traditional players. Now, if you're going to see a probable lowering of the freemium kind of plans with this kind of aggressive pricing, do tell us how this is going to shape up digital advertising and whether we are likely to see ad spends grow on OTT platforms in times to come.
So I think if you look at the landscape as a whole, digital advertising market is somewhere close to about 50,000 crores, out of which, video advertising is about 1/3. That's about 70 to 18,000 crores. Now, out of this 18,000 crores of video advertising, you have a lion's share, which is with YouTube. About 8 to 10,000 crores is with YouTube. And half is split between the OTT platforms. Now, out of this 8,000 crores, about 3 to 4,000 crores is for sports, which is IPL, Cricket World Cup, everything put together. So the pie, what you are actually fighting for in terms of advertising dollars, is a very small pie of about, 0.5 to 0.7 billion dollars. And that's what everybody is fighting for. Sony Live, ZEE5, all the GEC content, all the catch-up TV content. So I think potentially there is a potential, for this pie to increase from here on, because digital advertising as a market is significantly big. And video is a very small share. Video is about 35%, and the OTT market is only about 10 odd percent if you exclude the likes of aggregators like YouTube and everything put together. So I think there is a potential for this number to grow exponentially. And I think that's the reason they are going into this, because clearly India is a price sensitive market. So, offering it completely free will open it up in terms of the number of customers. And clearly the English content, the premium content, this is the kind of content where the audience wants to watch it without advertisement, and they're willing to pay the premium. Now, that is the content which they've kept, behind the paywall. Otherwise, the content which is massy nature, which is catch-up TV, sports, everything put together, is completely free with advertisement model. So I think this is the correct strategy. If you look at most of the platforms in the country, they are operating a premium strategy wherein they've got certain content behind the paywall and certain content free. Now, what happens here in the case of global OTT companies is that they can't let ARPUs fall beyond a certain threshold, because if you look at Netflix, they've already taken 2 price cuts and their pricing is already lowest as compared to global countries. So if it's possibly, it will be very tough for them to take a further price cut from here on. Amazon has introduced a pure video plan of 700 rupees on an annualized basis. They can't go below this in terms of pricing.
Yes.
So what do? They can probably go for ad tier model. They can, curb password sharing. They can go for other innovative models. But taking a further price cut becomes a challenge. So
Correct.
they're in a spot of bother, I feel.
Indeed, like you said, India is a very price-sensitive market. And this has, of course, forced Netflix also to cut prices to make inroads, deeper inroads into India. There are several regional OTTs that have this good subscriber base that attract the local cinema-going audiences as well. Now this move by the Ambani-owned JioCinema, how much this is going to be disruptive in the entire OTT universe remains to be seen. How this changes the game, as it were, is going to be an interesting space to watch. Karan Taurani, always appreciate your perspective. Thank you for joining us on this edition of India Tonight. Meanwhile, we're taking a small breather.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.